Guys, of course, we know that the Cavs had a big Game 5 win yesterday. Um, Actually, yeah, big Game 5, but and like the narrative for years have been, even this year has been, the Cavs are soft, and this is the same. A soft team can never win, and it's the same players that are soft, and they can never change the way they style they play. But has it changed finally in the past 3 games? Have they finally understood uh, what the playoffs is about? Um, maybe let's see. I mean, there's couple of there's some things I want to say that shows that it might be true. For once in these past 3 games, Jared Allen and Evan Mobley are being physical. They're not getting bullied anymore. Um, the Cavs are diving for loose balls. Even at the end, that call, the foul that's supposed, but everyone's saying that's supposed to be a foul. Whether it was a foul or not, you can see that even like in the last tenths of seconds of the game, Jared Allen is actually, diving for a loose ball that's going out of bounds. You would never see, you didn't see that from him 2 years ago or 1 year ago in the playoffs. A lot of the naysayers were like, oh, they collapse when it matters the most. They don't have the mentality for the playoffs. And these past 3 games have showed different. I mean, 3 games now, they had to win each game. So basically, they're down 2-0. Game 3 is a must-win game. They stepped up. Then Game 4 was still a must-win game because they still can't go down 3-1. They got through that game too. And then yesterday, a bigger game at home. I mean, on the road. They say 75% of the time, the winner of Game 5 wins the series, and it was a big game, and they haven't won a road game in how long? They haven't won a road game this whole playoffs, and for them to be down by 9 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to play 7 straight possessions of perfect defense and tie the game and take it to overtime and take over the game in overtime and win. That shows a lot of guts. It shows a lot of strong mentality. That takes strong mentality to do that, and not to fold when it matters and just give up and panic. They didn't panic for once, and that's the Cavs we've been seeing for the past 4 seasons in the playoffs. But this one looked, yesterday looked different. Especially the past 3 games, but yesterday especially looked different. And um, now I hope we don't jinx them by saying this, and they lose tomorrow. But I think they'll win. And let's see if they keep doing this. Hopefully this is not a thing. It's not a hopefully this is not a one-time thing. And um, you can feel like they played angry. For once they played angry. They didn't, especially when Detroit was, took the 9-point lead, and they were celebrating, and going crazy. The players, right in front of the Cavs' faces, like, doing faces and stuff like that, and that pissed the Cavs off. And from that moment, that 2 minutes and 50 seconds left, whatever it was, they were a different team. They were different. There was different look on them. There was different style of playing. It was a different team. So I hope this is not one time thing or inconsistent thing. Hopefully they've finally understood how they have to play in the playoffs. How they have to play physically. They can't lose composure. You know, um, they they played better. Obviously, they learned from the first half of that game, because in the first half, that 10 turnovers, 20 points of these turnovers, and they ended up in the second half with only 3 turnovers. So hopefully they learn. Hopefully they have turned the corner, and they finally understood after all these years how to win in the playoffs. That you need, you can't. It's not all about style and scoring points and finesse. You got to be tough. You got to, because the calls in the playoffs is not the same as the calls you get in the regular season. There's going to be a lot of time, a lot of extra hitting, extra pushing, extra stuff like that that the refs aren't gonna call that they usually call in the regular season, and it showed in that a lot in that game yesterday. The both teams got away with a lot of physical contact, and hopefully this is the turning point for the Cavs. Let's see tomorrow what happens. Hopefully we can close them out. We have to close them. We can't mess up tomorrow and go to a game 7. We can't afford that. Hopefully they switch to another gear, and let's see. Looking forward to it. Excited. Been excited all day today, and let's see what they do tomorrow. And if they do win, let's talk about the Knicks, the series against Knicks, because a lot of people are counting the Cavs out from now. But I'm gonna break down how I think that the Cavs have a very good chance of winning that series. But that's another talk for another day. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about today, and we'll see you tomorrow after the game for the post game reaction.